Every couple goes through hard seasons. The question is not if you'll make it through, it's how you're going to make it through. Are you going to make it through together, or are you going to make it through apart? Let's talk about it.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Then Comes Love podcast. We're your hosts, we're the butlers, we're your friends, we're your family. And we just want to welcome you to the Then Comes Love podcast, where we talk about everything related to marriage, the ups, the downs. And this week we're going to be talking about trials and tribulations.
Difficult
Everybody
seasons.
goes through hard times in the marriage, not just financial, but just things happen in the marriage. And and if you haven't gone through it, it's only because you haven't been married that long. Because everyone deals with issues.
Yeah, we want to talk about how do you navigate difficult seasons. I think and not I think every marriage has its seasons. There are times when you'll be up
and down.
Everything is going great. You're doing great. And then there's some times you're like, times it's just rough. Maybe y'all are not connecting. You're not on the same page. Sometimes when you like, we all right. We okay. Yeah. And then sometimes you got where you are just completely blown away and sideswiped by a hardship or by something hard. And it just comes out of nowhere. And you like, you weren't prepared for it. How are you going to make it through?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. This is one of those hard ones. Not like, my paycheck short. That is a problem. But again, we're talking about those things you didn't see coming. You didn't imagine in 100 years it would happen to you. And it happened. And so now how does it affect your marriage?
Yeah.
How do you get through it together? Because some people split apart. But, there's some things we need to discuss. So.
Yeah. I think we'll start off with this. I would say for us, we've definitely shared how we've had some hard times with, infidelity, financial issues, all of those things. But the one thing I feel like nobody prepared us for with marriage, especially at our age, the age of 47, and our parents are getting older. And now it's not that we just have to worry about our family. We're thinking about our parents. And I feel like one of the things that nobody prepared us for would be the loss of a parent. That was something that completely, it's like I know you hear me out. I know that we're like, okay, they're getting older, they're gonna pass away, all of those things. Yeah. But it's like you never imagine it happening to you, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, that part for sure. But even just the part where as you get older, they look at you like almost like a peer, to the point where they ask you for advice, and then you're like telling them stuff, and they're listening to you, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, now this is foreign territory to me. This is strange to me. But just things happen, and time goes on, and so I think in our situation, it was really difficult for us to walk through what we went through as far as with your dad, because you being a daddy's girl and him being everything in your world, in your mama's world, your sister's world, and everybody's world.
And to our family.
So we knew the day was going to come one day. Actually, I didn't think. We thought we would just be wrapping up together.
I did. That was that was my prayer. That was my prayer. Like, oh, Lord, just let us be wrapped up together, because one of the things that terrifies me is death. And not to die, it's the pain that comes with losing someone.
Or just dying. Let's just keep it 100. Now you can talk, we gonna die, we gonna see Jesus, we gonna go ahead. And that's that.
Yeah.
But we're just being real. Who's ready to sign? Some of y'all are ready, but that's it's a scary thing. It can be scary.
Yeah, because it's not like some people have the privilege of just dying in their sleep.
Right.
Some people, it's like death is. It's death. It's it's painful, it's suffering to go through that. And so I'm just not signing up, raising my hand to do that. And so when my dad passed away, naturally, Wendell, like, I was worried about how he would be there for me. Am I gonna take out my frustration on him? How would he support me? I was thinking all of these things. I was thinking about the loss of my dad. What was I gonna? When you're in that moment, you can't see past the day. Like time stands still. And so I just felt like I was in the hardest season of my life. The most painful feeling I've ever experienced ever was losing my dad. And for us, it was, God was gracious with us. I believe it was the hardest thing, but the most beautiful thing that we walked through. It was hard because we had to watch my dad, transition. You're watching somebody's physical body fail, and just some pictures that I would never be able to get out of my mind. I watched that, but it was also the most beautiful thing because I feel like God gave me time. And I was talking to Wendell about this, today when we were talking about what we were going to talk about. And it's like, I would rather have my dad here sick than not have him here at all. Now, that's selfish.
Don't be judging her.
That's selfish. And I understand that's selfish because I wouldn't want him to be here sick. What I'm saying is, at least I got to see him. And so the bottom line to all of that is I don't have him here anymore. And like when you're walking through something that difficult, if maybe for some of you who are taking care of parents, the best advice I would give you is enjoy every single moment, even the hard ones, because you're going to look back. Like there are times when I remember with my dad that I physically could not take what I was seeing. And I remember walking out the room like, I can't do this, just being very angry. And now it's like, I wish I would have stayed in that moment.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And so, I remember during that time, that was a very difficult season for us. And I remember during that time, I felt like, Wendell, I don't know if when that time comes for you, that I will be as good as you were to me.
Sure you will.
Because you don't know what a person needs until you go through something. You can say, yeah, when I'm going through this, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, but it's not that simple because when something hits you, sideswipe catches you off guard, and something painful happens, everybody handles things differently, and it's something you can't be prepared for. And so with you, the reason why I'm saying I don't know is because I'm going to have to really discover what it is you're going to need at every single moment. You know what I mean? It's just different. And so I don't know. I don't know what you would say to that.
I would say because I love you and I have a relationship with you and I know you, it was just a lot easier. Let me give you an example. I have a friend of mine, during 9/11, a friend of mine, we were at lunch right when they bombed the Pentagon, and his uncle was in the Pentagon, and he just broke. And I've known him for a long time. We just so happened to be working together, and he was crying and falling out. And another friend came, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I? I didn't know what to do. It won't that way with you. With you, I just had to be there for you. I just had to love on you. I didn't care if you were mad with me, if you got upset, if I said anything.
Thick skin.
Because usually with you and I, I might walk on eggshells if I know you're upset about something. But in this situation, it didn't matter. I didn't matter. I was just trying to just be there for you in the family. So I didn't worry. I think when in situations like that, when it's somebody else, you're concerned about your own feelings in a sense. Like, I don't want him to hurt me or embarrass me or say something crazy to me.
Or they don't want me around right now.
None of that.
Don't take it personal.
None of that mattered when it came to you, because you are my wife. You are my love, and so it didn't. Whatever. So we just walked through it together. So yeah, and I mean. This is our story. This is one of the things that we
walk through. Yeah.
Now, you guys may have something different. It could be any, loss of a child, God forbid, whatever it is. We all go through something, and so there's some things that you can do, right? Well, that you need to do in situations like this, So,
what were just because I was the one that was. We both were walking through it, but you were the one that was. Well, I don't want to say that. What were some things? Bottom line, what are some things that you felt like you had to do in that season
because
to get us through the difficult.
Well, first of all, when you're going through that, it's hard because you have the parent with you, and you have to do a lot of serving, and sometimes when you do work, you get tired, right? You get tired. But I think the first thing that I kept telling myself is I remember our marriage vows, and I know it sounds corny, but for better, for worse, and sickness, and the health and death do us part. And it wasn't just your sickness; it was your family's sickness. And it was and plus because of the relationship I have with your family and with your father, it was my privilege to do it, and so it was easy to do that. Some people may not have it as good as I have. You know, it may actually be work. It may have to tell themselves every day that I gotta get up and do this thing. And you know, but that was the first thing. I just want to remember. I just tried my best to remember the commitment I made to you. That was the first one. You know,
because there were some hard choices you had to make during
man,
that time.
it okay, I'm gonna get in trouble. My wife is.
What?
I'm trying to figure out how to say this.
Just be real. Keep it real.
I mean, you. I don't want to say you needy, because you're not. But you need me in this moment. Let me go back. Forget all that.
Okay.
In this moment, you really needed me to be there, even though I had nothing to do.
I just wanted you.
A lot of the decision making, I didn't need to be in the room for a lot of things. It was a lot of times it was like your mom and your sisters, but you wanted me there no matter what. So much so that you was like, look, I know you got to go to work today. I don't care nothing about your job. I want you to be with me. And I'm thinking to myself, we got mortgage bills. We got. I mean, you know. So it was kind of like I had to make a choice. It was like, okay, because don't get me wrong, my job gave me time off, but you know, any job you can't be off like just every because he was going to the hospital so much, and so it was like I got to make a choice. Either I'm going to have a job and maybe not have a wife. I mean,
yeah, because there are responsibilities there that you carry that I don't, like we've said before, as a wife, I don't have to worry about all of that. I like you at the head. You gonna take care.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm thinking, is she gonna love me if I ain't got no money? And I know that's a silly question. Of course she is, but I'm just saying that's an added stress when when you don't have money and bills are coming in and they talking. And that's my pet peeve for y'all. For those of you who don't know, because we went through so much of that
financially
early in our marriage, that if a bill come in, I get stressed. If I gotta wait a week to pay, I'm stressed. And so just the thought of losing my job and not being able to take care. I got kids and stuff, and so, but I had to make it. It was a big choice to make. I'm like, okay,
because and the reason why it was a choice is because there was before my dad, they shared with us that my dad wasn't gonna make it. They told us initially when we went to the hospital, they told us he wasn't gonna make it through the night, and my dad ended up, you know, living for 2 more weeks. But this was us being there at the hospital. I mean, walking through the different steps of hospice, and me and my sisters basically lived there for 2 weeks. And then I think there was a time where he was at home that we were all together. My family is really close. And so we were there for everything. There was not one thing that we missed. And so he was already missing time before my dad actually passed. And so when he passed, it was like, okay, I wanted you to be there in the transition, and I wanted him to be there when he after the transition.
That's a no-brainer.
Right. So I wanted people to understand that why it was a choice that you had to make, because it wasn't like your regular bereavement days.
Yeah, because those had already been used.
Yeah. It was an extended amount of time. Yeah. One of the that was our issue, and the outcome of that was he stayed, you know. And there were times when I'm like, okay, I know you need to go. I think there was one time. Oh yeah, because I went to the hospital and stayed with my sisters, and you went back to work. Yeah. So I had to extend some grace.
And my job extended me some grace as well.
Yeah, they did. So the overall outcome of that was that you were there.
But I didn't say, girl, look, I got to go work, pay these bills. You gonna be all right. I ain't had that attitude, you know. And so,
I think the main thing that I appreciated during that time was that you were present.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think as men, you guys feel like you need to fix everything, and sometimes we don't need you to fix anything. We just need you to be there. And in this situation, he couldn't fix it. But I think that's the problem that most couples run into, is that the man is trying to solve the issue. Like, we just want you to be there. Just be present. Just listen to us here. There'll be times when I would be crying about my dad or whatever, and he wasn't trying to say the right things.
Nah.
He would just hold me.
Yeah.
And so so that was our issue. But maybe you're walking through a difficult season. And I think the thing that I think is important when we walk through that is, like Wendell just shared, I communicated what I needed. And I think oftentimes there are some times when we're going through things that maybe you don't know what you need, or you don't say what you need. You think your spouse, your partner is supposed to read your mind. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I was very clear. Like,
very clear.
I want you here, and I made that clear so that there wouldn't be any issues between us. Like, he would know what I needed and how I needed it.
And that's why you say you don't know how you would do with me, because I don't communicate what I need. I'm good.
And you say you don't know, but you do know. If you just think for a minute, you do know what you need. So if we were to ever go through something very difficult for you, I think it would be a challenge for me, because you don't share.
I ain't got nothing to say. I don't know.
So for me, if because it's not when, it's if those times will come, I'm just gonna have to be present and just.
Hey,
be
and can I
attentive.
say, when you were communicating with me through this whole time, there were high levels of stress, but you didn't really go off. You never went off on me. You never
Lashed
mean
out.
to me or lashed out. I think you were very considerate. I think you knew the seriousness of the situation, and I just think, even if there was a time if you were getting frustrated with me because of X, Y, I don't know, anything, I could see that you were just kind of like, baby, this is what you know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate that. And that's something that you were very intentional about. So it was like you were communicating with me, but you weren't attacking me in any way, shape, or form.
And I because anytime that you're going through something difficult, the worst thing that we could do is fight each other and not the problem. That's the worst thing that we could do. We always lash out on like, for me, like when I'm stressed. I think you talked about this in another episode, how I take my frustration and my stress out on you.
You used to.
Because I couldn't take it out on everybody else.
Used to.
So I would let you get the brunt of it, when really it wasn't you I was fighting.
It was
the problem that I was stressed out about, but yet you were taking the brunt of that.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think it's really important for us to really shift our thinking when we're going through something hard, and think about the thing that you're upset about. That's the thing that you need to fight together. So be honest with your partner. Like, this thing bothers me. Like, the bills bothers me. And okay, let's attack that together. And then we can ask questions like, okay, well, how can I take the pressure off you? Or for you, like, how can I help you so when you see a bill, you're not feeling stressed? Does it help you that I have a plan? I come with a plan, how we going to pay it? Like, that's attacking the problem, not each other.
Sure.
Like, we don't ever have no money. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, we knew what the issue was.
Sure.
There was no need to lash out on you.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't know, I don't think you did, but say if you did, like, say something smart or something like that. I mean, it's important for me to understand that you're going through something. You're not yourself right now, and so it's a great time for me to extend grace.
Sure,
because,
sure.
Yeah, and so it's not like, if you did say something smart, girl, who are you talking to? I mean, this ain't the time to be.
Yeah. It's
defending
not about
yourself.
you.
Right.
It's not about you.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was that was just.
And if you're going through something that affects the two of you, then I think it's important to extend that grace. Allow them to have their moment. Don't take things personal. That everybody handles things different. Give them a minute and then come back around, like, or just touch them.
Yeah.
I think it's important to connect.
Yeah.
I remember when we were going through that with my dad. There was one night that we came home, and I remember all the kids being in our bed, because I have a picture of it in my phone. and we came home. I think we had to come home to vote or something like that, because we took the picture outside of the school. There are certain crazy things that I remember, but we came back home. I think we needed to get clothes. We needed to vote, and at that time, it was really important that we voted. This was 2 years ago, so we wanted to come back for that. But we also took. The reason why I'm saying that is, we stepped away from, I don't want to say the problem. We stepped away from the issue. Like, because walking through that with my dad and watching him transition, it was a lot of emotions going on. It was a lot of hard things that we had to see, and I needed to step away.
Sure.
And that's okay too. I need to step away for a moment. And so I would tell you, if you guys are facing something, a difficult season in your marriage, take a moment to just step away. Whether that's go for a walk, go on a date. And it's not selfish. It's not like, we got this going on and we're going to do this. You need it, because if you are knee deep in it all the time, and you're not coming up for air, then of course you're going to be lashing out at each other.
Yeah.
So it's important that you take a minute to step away, go on a date, go on a walk, just step away from the problems and just reconnect.
Yeah, and also too, if one thing you just did just then, it just calmed me even now. If you do lash out, I remember one time, I don't even know what it was about. I was mad at you for something. I was hot. You understand? And I don't know what it was. I don't even know what the issue was anymore. But you was like, hey.
It was on the cruise. You weren't upset at me, but you were upset about. It was something that
all I know, you said, hey.
And just touched you.
And rubbed my hand and kissed me. And and even though I was still trying to be mad, I couldn't be mad no more. And so it was just like intentionally.
It's letting you know, it's like, almost saying, I see you.
I'm not the enemy.
Yeah.
And I love you no matter.
Yeah. I think you just nailed it. You nailed it. We're not your partner, your spouse is not the enemy.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we treat each other like we're the enemy. And I'll have to admit, when we're in arguments, sometimes I forget that we're a team, because I'm trying to, I want you to feel the hurt or the whatever that I feel.
The burn.
Yeah, but we have to remember that we are a team, and that we can get through it together. And so the worst thing that we could do when we're going through different seasons, difficult seasons, I would say, is to isolate. Don't isolate your partner.
Oh, no.
Don't isolate your partner. Communicate how you feel. Let them know what you're feeling. Tell them what you need.
Yeah.
Extend grace to know that they're they can't read your mind. They're gonna mess up sometimes, and if they do, you just say, hey, I in this moment I need you to do X, Y, and Z. You might have to lead them, coach them a little bit along the way, and then step away from the issue and reconnect with one another. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And I think that is what we did, and it worked out very well.
Yeah, we came out. I feel like we came out stronger, and not only just for us, but I feel like even for my sisters, for my mom, like we came out stronger because we did it together.
Yeah.
We weren't lashing out, because when somebody passes, everybody at each other's throat and all this other stuff. That was one thing that my dad told us years before he passed. He was like, look, we're a family. And my parents always taught us, you don't fight each other. And so we knew stepping into it that we wanted to honor my dad's wishes. And it wasn't hard. I mean, we didn't fight each other. We came together and we did what we needed to do. There were some meltdowns along the way. I think I lashed out at some other family members. Sorry, y'all.
As long as it won't me.
I lashed out on some other people, but I just, and for that family member, she extended grace because she knew what I was walking through. And it took me some time to be able to communicate why I was frustrated. And for me, it was, there were too many people
in the house.
And I felt like I shared my dad for so long, and I didn't want to share that moment. I wanted to be selfish. I wanted to go through that with him and my family. I didn't want everybody else in the room, because my dad was a pastor. He was lovable, even with my family, even our extended family. Everybody loved my dad, and everybody wanted to be there. But I was frustrated because there were too many people. And I wanted that moment with my dad. And so it took me some time to be able to communicate that to them. But she extended grace. And, now I understand, what that feels like when you lose somebody.
Yeah.
That you don't know how people are going to handle it. I never thought that I would do that. But again, when something hits you, you can't prepare for how you're going to respond to it. And so that extending grace is so important. But I'm so thankful that we came out on the other side. We grew together. We didn't grow apart. And same for my family. So I would just encourage you to take those steps. It's not about you. Just you guys are a team, and attack it together.
No, yeah. And I mean, these steps, they work with grief. They work when we fight. I mean, I think there's something that we try to be intentional about.
Absolutely.
Our marriage helped us get through 27. I ain't even say long, hard years, because they're not, but 27 years of marriage. I mean, my buddy of mine said, man, you've been with the same woman this whole time. He said, how you do it? He said, I brag about you, man. I said, hey, man, these, get this woman and get these steps, man.
Yeah, but I think the bottom line is the reason why we could make it through that is because we know that main thing is to keep Jesus at the center of our marriage. Yeah. It's impossible to go through these things without keeping Jesus at the center of our marriage. So, I mean, if you want to know how to make it through, that's the first step. Because you got to include him in your marriage, not just when things are going wrong, but when they're good as well. Keep him at the center of your marriage. So, anyway, we hope that this has helped you. If we can be.
I'm feeling real frisky and lovey now after having this conversation. Yeah.
It brought us closer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get even closer now.
Oh my gosh.
We love you guys. Hope y'all have enjoyed the Then It Comes Love podcast today.
Yes.
We will see y'all next time. Like, share, and subscribe. I got things to do.
Holla.